Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here on behalf of DGFantasy, and I have a 6-pick PrizePicks entry for you guys to lock in. I hopped on the Daily Grind Fantasy DFS Optimizer tool, found some absolutely incredible plays for us to lock in. Just see how many plays there are. And these are all positive expected value plays for a PrizePicks 6-pick entry. This is all found on the Daily Grind Fantasy DFS Optimizer. Amazing tool. When you're using PrizePicks, and you can click this little drop down here on the tool and it kind of shows you what the payouts are. But when you're playing on PrizePicks, you're going to want to play 5 and 6 pick entries. The reason why, you see these numbers in the parentheses, right? Minus 119 and minus 119. Those are those numbers are the implied odds for the individual leg of whatever entry that you are playing. So for a 2-pick entry, for a 2-pick power, your individual odds per leg are minus 136, minus 144 for a 3-pick flex, minus 144 3-pick power, and you kind of see it goes on down. So you can tell just from looking at this one screen here that the best bang for your buck in terms of payout and in terms of the odds per individual leg is going to be a PrizePicks 5 and 6-pick flex. So the strategy there is if there are 6 plays that you like, play 6. If there are only 5 plays that you like, play 5. But between 5 and 6, you're really going to want to stick to those 2 numbers. I understand that's a little bit scary because you need the most to hit in order to win your entry. But in terms of profitability over the course of time, that's the best bang for your buck. It kind of just is what it is. But the strategy for finding individual legs to put into PrizePicks is you're literally just looking plays for the highest win percentage possible. Because unlike FanDuel and unlike DraftKings, you're always going to get the implied odds of minus 119, no matter what play you're taking, and no matter whether you're taking the over or the under. So you see there are plays here. Like this Dak Prescott one is obviously a promotional one. This one doesn't count, but here's a UFC one. It's for Saturday, so I'm not going to have it on my entry today, but obviously this is a great one. So if you have a UFC one or you're looking for plays for the weekend, this UFC one is phenomenal. But we see like a 63% win percentage. We could take this over. That's going to hit roughly 63% of the time according to DGF, or we could take the under, which is going to hit at 37% of the time. So when you're looking at PrizePicks, it's literally just maximizing your win percentage, which is not the strategy with FanDuel and DraftKings, because betting something on DraftKings at minus 130 or minus 133 or minus 120, whatever it may be, might not be a profitable wager, but on PrizePicks, it's guaranteed to be because of the implied odds of minus 119. So those are 2 important things that I mentioned at the beginning of every PrizePicks and DFS video that I do. The number of entries number of legs in an entry that's optimal, and then also what the strategy is for playing an individual leg. Now we can move on to me telling you what the individual legs that we are playing are, why they're profitable, and how I used the DGF DFS Optimizer tool to find them. And the lucky thing is, it's really easy. They make it incredibly easy for you to find plays. You read it left to right. The player name is exactly what it sounds like. It's the player that you're taking. The stat is the stat that you are taking. O/U is whether you're taking the over or the under. And then the column here with the PrizePicks logo is the number that you are taking. So these first 2 we're going to go ahead and skip. Obviously, this Dak one is promotional. It's amazing. I'm not saying don't take it. I'm just looking for an entry specifically for plays tonight. And as I am skipping this UFC one as well for the same exact logic. It's another great play. Should absolutely take it. I'm just looking for plays specifically today on Wednesday. So the first one that we are going to go ahead and lock in is Dylan Cease to go over 5.5 pitcher strikeouts. So reading it left to right, player name, Dylan Cease. The stat, we're taking his pitcher strikeouts. We're taking him to go over, and the number we're taking him to go over is 5.5. Now these next 3 columns are very important. I kind of hinted at these 2, but I'll dive a little bit deeper. But for this specific play, I want to highlight the sportsbook line here real quick, because we see sportsbook line and then we see 6.5. What this column is giving you is what the actual sportsbooks have this over under priced at. So PrizePicks has his over under priced at 5.5. Well, all of the sportsbooks have his over under priced at 6.5. So this play, this Dylan Cease play, is an example of a line discrepancy where the line between the sportsbooks and PrizePicks are different. Because PrizePicks has it at 5.5 and the sportsbooks have it at an over-under above this number, above 5.5, that means that there is value on this play going over, which is why this is what the play is. And then these next two columns, percent odds to hit, this is your win percentage. These percents are derived from the odds you see in this column here. Basically, the way it works is DGF looks at millions and millions of different data points and then comes out with their own odds, their own perfect line for what a market should be priced at. Takes into account the sports books and where they price something at, takes into account correlation of tons of different factors. But for this individual play, it's at minus 170. Basically saying that this Dylan Cease over 5.5 strikeouts number should actually be priced at minus 170. But because we're taking it on PrizePicks, we're only getting the implied odds of minus 119, which means that there's incredible value on this play. So it's a 58.76% win percentage. This is our first leg of our 6-pick entry. Amazing play here, the Dylan Cease one. Next up, another pitcher stat. We're taking Kyle Gibson to go under the fantasy projected score of 30.5. So we see here the sportsbook line also has it at 30.5. This is an example of a pricing discrepancy. The lines are the exact same. So there's no line discrepancy. The discrepancy comes on the pricing. Look where the sportsbooks have it priced. DraftKings, minus 130. Caesars, minus 129. We know that the implied odds of PrizePicks is minus 119. So these sportsbooks having it in the minus 130s, that bodes well for us. Now, DGF also calculates this to be roughly at the same number at minus 130 with a win percentage of 56.53. This is our second pick of the entry for tonight. And it's the exact same logic that we're talking about, right? It should be priced at minus 130. PrizePicks is giving this to us at minus 119. That creates value. And the next two, are going to be the same exact logic. So the next play is a fantasy score. This is a batter, Bryce Harper, to go under his projected fantasy score of 9. Looks like DraftKings prices this at minus 128, as you can see here. DGF also prices it at minus 128, win percentage of 56.21, well above the minus 119 number, making this a profitable play. Freddie Freeman, it's literally the exact same play. Freddie Freeman to go, his fantasy score to go under 9. This one, DraftKings has it at minus 123, and DGF has it at minus 124. So pretty close to DraftKings with a win percentage of 55.34%. So here are our first 4 plays. The Dylan Cease one over his strikeouts, and then these 3 players, Kyle Gibson, Bryce Harper, Freddie Freeman, to go under their fantasy score. Next up is a combo strikeout. These are always fun. Tanner Bibby plus Sonny Gray to go over a combined strikeout total of 11. This is another example of a pricing discrepancy as opposed to a line discrepancy because the sportsbooks also have this priced at 11. But look at where they have it priced. Minus 133, minus 113, minus 122 across the board here, and then minus 120. So DGF also has their proprietary line close to where the sportsbooks have it, giving this a win percentage of 54.97%. This is our 5th play on PrizePicks. And last up, let's go with a tennis one just to mix things up a little bit. Taylor Fritz to go over 13.5 aces. Here we go back to a line discrepancy where we have, by we, I mean PrizePicks has it at 13.5. The sports books have it at 14.5. Because they price the over-under at a higher number, that creates value on him going over, which is why the over is a play. Win percentage here of 54.78%. Rounding out our 6 plays for this PrizePicks entry. If you're riding with me, if you're riding with us, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff helps us out a ton. Thanks for watching and have a good one.